And welcome back to YouTube. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire. Picking up the top of round 89, where we have 3 decisions. And we've discovered the concept of mines. More for the militia card, which is maybe useful, probably not. Stress the need for more efficiency, because we're commerce meritocracy. We could hypothetically go for research as well. Ooh, they have an emergency. When they have an emergency, it's always tempting to go for the first option. And I think I'm going to go for the first option because it'll minimize the malice associated with it, with the event. We triggered this mine extension because we have an oil mine that is out of reserves.
Aye, aye,
to give it more reserves. So it's got 28,000 more reserves. It's now like 25-ish% worse to mine at, but that's fine. It's better than not being able to mine it after all. Running into here is that there is, again, this is a continuation of the mountain range that's been kind of running along here. There's the odd pass, so there's a pass here through the mountain range, but it's this is sort of a continual mountain range here that we're running up against. Otherwise we'd be able to go a little further. We have found some non-line guy. We're not sure who or what it is, and it does appear be on an asset, in this case a hermit cave. This isn't actually a particularly bad asset. It's a interesting, somewhat useful asset, depending on the circumstances. Okay, so the organic furnace is done. Let's expand the organic furnace.
Copy that.
This is already expanding. Power plant's already expanding. So I think that's all the construction we want to do. Again, that's about 400 industry, so we've still got about 200 more we can spend. Do I want to run a road through this pass down here? Or do I want to continue to go out and around? I think I want to continue to go out and around the forest. Something like that. Because I think at some point we might end up having to... Well, it doesn't necessarily have to happen, but I think it is going to happen. We're going to run a fork around about here and run a road north up this way so these guys can move forward. That is my industrial capacity spent for the turn, which means the troops are basically moved. Invest in the militia.
Affirmative.
Or not. Oratory skill can fail and doesn't really make a difference. Now, what is the opinions of our leaders? With one exception, they're all above 50%, so I think that's fine. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to do as far as those orders for the turn. We're expanding power. Probably it's looking like at some point I'll need to expand water. The water is ticking down. The best way to expand water would actually be to develop water purification. Which, actually, looking at my options is probably what I will do. I'll do water purification next after synthetic fuels. Well, I suppose the alternative is I can build a water mine. I'm really desperate for water. I can build a water mine in 2 turns. That would probably actually solve all the problems. Or in the capital, I could do a dehydration plant. The mine is probably better than the dehydration plant for the cost at the moment. So we'll roll the turn. End turn still appearing to be boring, which is probably good for us. Here comes an unaligned, which is usually end of the turn. We actually get attacked. And the militia forces we had in that area got hit pretty hard. Put a quick break in here. Okay, back after a short disruption from the family. This is one of the more of the tank local wildlife, tank walker guys, which is probably why the militia forces we have here had a little bit of a struggle. They don't necessarily have any good anti-tank weapons. Can I spare the rocket launcher guys? Probably. Not that they're going to get there in decent time. On a couple decisions. They want us to continue to expand private assets, which kind of up to the private assets, to be fair. Yeah, we'll try to have you suppress it as much as you can. He's critically successful, which means there's actually no danger increase. That's good to see. Power is looking still to be a little bit of a problem, but that's because we're still waiting for things to expand. Power plant will be up next turn. Same with the organic furnace. This one's 2 more turns. We'll see if that makes a difference. We're just trending up again, which is a good thing to see. One thing I can do is drop my colonists a bit. That's probably one place where water is going. I can also disband some recruits because I don't need quite this many recruits sitting around.
Copy that.
A bit more population in the capital. I do have more industrial capacity, so I can continue expanding roads. We got about 200 to spend. So we'll do something like that. That's where I think think where I was going to put the fork is there, so plausibly this will then start sneaking up this way. For the north end of the fork, I might only do dirt roads. We'll see, just to save on industrial capacity. Because it's going to be sort of a lateral road rather than a forward road. So the stuff on the end of the road in theory doesn't need a lot of industrial capacity.
Aye, aye, sir.
And we're rolling the turn. Interns are being a bit boring. If I do editing in the future, I might try to edit some of the boring ones out, but at least for the moment I'm not that heavy on the editing. And we're watching, we're waiting. To be fair, again, most of our orders are pretty boring, right? We've got I think it's 2 unaligned zones next to us. And our subject next to us. So most of the time we don't get to see much of anything during these end turns. Here comes the non-aligned forces. Looks like they attacked our guardians and we suffered 300 losses. For nothing in exchange. Okay, looks like another one of the arachnid hives is upgraded to the swarm. So when we find that, that's going to be a bad day. Average soldier morale is up. Okay, I didn't want that to go up. I didn't know it was down, to be fair. Minor city to major city for the capital. Sure.
Copy that.
And you're offering a technology discovery. You should buy with us. We traversed a large desert to reach you. Hopefully not, because we're right next to you. We'll still probably buy your thing, but still.
Roger that. Affirmative.
So we're almost encircling this guy again. Decent possibility they'll mull one of my units again as well, which is a bit of a sad, but it's likely going to happen. Acquired a hermit cave. Okay, let's see the status of our expansions. There, we're making power now, so that's good to see. So power plant 1 is done, and the organic furnace is done. So we'll see how much power we're making. Well, we should now be making plenty of power, because the regular power plant produces 500 energy. So I should be able to start committing to industrial expansion. One of the big ticket things to get with industrial expansion is heavy industry, so you can get machines very cheaply to build everything else. Of course, that's going to cost a lot of machines up front, so we need to acquire 17 machines.
Roger that. Copy that.
There we go. Let's see how the industry plays out on the din turn, because that's going to take a lot of industry. Attempt to fund the militia more. Effect is halved, and yet it didn't show us plus militia. So at this point, the militia looks like it's basically died in Austerlitz. Meaning if we're going to get it to come back, we're going to have to do a bit more aggressive stuff than we have access to at the moment. So I should probably give up on trying to funnel money into the militia at this point. Sitting here, stroking my beard while I'm waiting for the intern to roll over. Again, the intern, except for that one little pocket, except for this pocket over here, this is presumably going to be a fairly boring intern. Because really there isn't anything out there that's particularly threatening, except for our 3 militia that we got that aren't regenerating. They're not necessarily going to like fighting the wildlife. I'm going to keep, so here comes an online. Looks like they didn't attack, okay. Warp tech.
Affirmative.
Disturbed Guru is urging his newly fallen followers to assault sinners. Sinners apparently include people who smoke, and there are fights between the religious fanatics and their victims everywhere.
Copy that.
Yeah, let's give you some more help. And apparently 19,000 people have died. Oof. Our efforts backfired, and the ensuing chaos caused more harm. Okay. Yeah, the guy in charge of the new city, Austerlitz, is not as good as the guy in charge of the capital. Yeah, let's hold off one turn and see how that goes. See if that improves the higher action points and readiness on our side. Okay, industry and metal is still trending up, even with a turn being put into heavy industry. So if that's the case, we can probably keep expanding the roads for the moment. So let's get our existing roads to the fronts paved. We probably spent too many construction points. We'll see on the turn rollover. Water consumption's a bit high. Water's pretty cheap though, so I could buy a bunch of water just to ignore the problem for a bit. Stockpile maximum is 10,000, so I could pick up 10,000 water.
Roger that.
$10,000 a bit. Yeah. Looks like that's going to be our end turn. So the roads are coming along, so we're now at the point where industrial expansion will probably start correlating with me actually also moving the roads forward on all the fronts, hopefully. Probably do a fork here to come through the mountain pass here. And then obviously run north here to let these guys come forward and shorten that line. If you're watching this on YouTube, sorry about what was the shortcut in the video early on. When I got stream sort of interrupted by a family member asking me questions. To be fair, I think you probably didn't hear the family member, so it's going to be sort of sudden quiet moment for me, and a stitch cut, which maybe doesn't look like anything happens when you're actually watching along in the video, but I'll know it's there. And I'll have to do some editing to make the two parts connect. And if you're watching on Twitch, you will probably hear me say, oh, I'm going to have to put a cut there. But otherwise, I think this is... Well, this part's going pretty well as far as expansion. The industry is starting to come together. And I suppose once the industry is together, I need to also get bureaucracy going. So I can unify with the guys to my east, and then hopefully try to expand in all directions. Attempting to break out, we hold. We take some losses, but we hold. We have developed synthetic fuel, so we're going to get... One of our decisions right now is going to be what to do after the synthetic fuel. We were having water problems, so I think I'm going to go with water purification. I'd prefer to do that over water mining or soil dehydration. And we do have enough to discover in this group, right? Should. I'm just surprised the Economic Council hasn't discovered it yet. Yeah, maybe with the big RPG rounds.
Affirmative.
We did not accidentally delay the heavy industry. No, that's good to see. That was something I was a little bit worried about, is that we delayed the heavy industry accidentally. Okay, I'm gonna take a gamble, and because they failed to break out, I assume that they're got fairly low readiness, so if we attack from all directions, we might be able to win here. Yeah.
All clear, sir.
Okay, so we've cleared that pocket. How much industrial capacity are we using on the heavy industry so I don't spend what we need? Oh, it's pretty low. It's only 160. So that means I can spend like 400 right now. So we should be able to grab that. So these guys run forward into what should in the future be logistical range. And hopefully that's a marauder and not local wildlife. And we have acquired another ruin over here, so it may be worth rolling archaeology check here.
Aye, aye, sir.
We didn't find anything, but that was also a failed roll.
Aye, aye,
Let's dump
sir.
some private investment in the zone.
Aye, aye, sir.
Still have... Could probably get away with a little bit more. Do I... Well, I want to, but do I do build? Let's expand
Copy
our
that.
high command. Look, us more political power on future turns. Rolling the turnover. And as is the case with most end turns, a boring end turn is probably a good end turn. So I am seeing some units that we probably want to get destroyed over the next couple turns, and it'll probably be the armored recon. I don't remember how armored recon is, but our recon running around providing fire support to take those out. Attacker attacks, attacker wins. Okay, so we lost 500 militia infantry over the turn. Is that what I think it was? No, that was serpentization. Darn, I was hoping that was metal infiltration. I just sort of looked at the picture and clicked and not waited to see what the text said. So these are the local aliens. You can send a normal diplomat to them.
Affirmative.
I didn't understand, that's fine.
Aye, aye, sir.
Guardians are offering us technology, vehicle armor authorization. Basically, they're offering us a discovery. Oh, and we have Alien Agent wants official peace treaty, so we'll accept that.
Affirmative.
We'll be able to hire mercs from them in the future. Also, that secures that border. So that means this border here is a safe border for us until we don't want it to be safe. Oh, I'm on the wrong zone. Let me click the right zone so the trade makes sense. I mean, again, we can sell off rare metals that we're getting from scavenging to pay for this.
Affirmative.
Okay, so those are marauders. We should be able to deal with that group, clear out this pocket, and close in down here. That's, I think, a new one. The Snail Walker. Scavenger Predator, Cunning, Migrator, Regenerator, Territorial, Polymer Armor, and Social. Plus, has a hard target with a Polymer Armor. Okay. Don't think we have any replacements. No. Oh, actually, no. We lost one group of buggies. How's the construction going? Going well. Both the command center and the Haven Industry is going fine. If anything, it implies that we probably have enough to also start expanding the bureaucratic offices. So let's do that as well. I think I still have enough to extend the road here in a fork. Construct road, sealed road. I think I can forward about that much. That should make this raid go away, and then we can go ahead and close in the gap here. Let's take a quick look at our victory status. We are no longer in last. Though maybe worryingly, that's because I think Steel State went down and not up. We're now second to last, more than 10% victory points of the leader at the moment. And looking around, yeah, I think that's everything I want to do. These are aliens as well. So we get close to them, they might be willing to negotiate with us, which will help narrow the front as well. Hopefully, as most end turns, the end turn stays boring. Though we got a couple spicy things in encirclements, so there's a small possibility that the end turn will not stay boring and may in fact get a bit spicy. Here, have the Mountain Keep, who is our subject. Oop. One of our foot soldiers got encircled down there. The hostile ran around behind him. Let's get you back in supply. I don't really have any guys to run down there to help you right now, so hopefully that problem doesn't get worse.
Move it now!
Yeah, a bit of an ineffective turn that attack this is.
Negative to breach.
We probably did some damage to its readiness, so it's less likely to try to break out.
Move it now! All clear, sir.
Yeah, these guys should be able to lift those two corners before they leave. Oh, this guy's depleted, that's why he's not capturing a decent chunk of territory. And this guy technically has polymer armor, so the RPGs will probably help once they get there.
Order acknowledged.
Okay, looks like we didn't lose any non-militia troops during that turn. See how the industry is going on building things in the capital. Okay, heavy industry should be done. It should be giving us machines next turn. And these are expanding. No delays. So we're going to spend about 200 industry this turn. We have about 500 sitting around, which we can use to build roads. Okay, we got the roads with that pass done. Looks like we'll continue expanding there in the future. We'll see what this guy does. I may end up deploying another brigade to help with the frontage. I think everything else is going well. We did at some point discover a radioactive. Not that 360 radioactives is a good source of radioactives to mine, but we did find the source of radioactives. I think that's going to be the turn. Well, I suppose one thing I could do is now is probably the time to start taking those rolls for unification.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
They refused. To be fair, they had a difficulty of 110, so raise the relations with us a little bit. Hopefully the next one will go better. Alright, we now got them to show 100 opinion. You're actually looking a little low on opinion, so let's go ahead and give you a bonus. An efficient gift. Bonus, then.
Affirmative.
There we go. So we'll want to boost your opinion more, but 50 is good enough. Then everything else is looking good, so let's roll the intern. And hopefully we don't have too spicy of an intern. If you're watching on YouTube, this is where I'm going to go ahead and put the real part break. So I hope you've been enjoying it. I'm going to go ahead and put it at the end of this intern. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to keep recording after a short break, so other than muting the mic and going and taking that break, I'll keep the stream going and then pick up right where I left off after the break. And hopefully the intern is not too spicy. We might have a little bit of a spicy problem with the encircled polymer armor native life form. But I think all the other fronts should stay stable over the intern. Unknowns, unknowns, unknowns. There's the spicy move. And we lost 20 of our buggies. But otherwise we held. Well, otherwise they didn't take advantage of us running away. What is the field testing on those units? 74%? Okay, so if I get the option, I should go ahead and upgrade the motorcycles, or upgrade the buggies. RPGs are not so far along.
Roger that. Copy that. Roger that.
Yeah, and the readiness on a bunch of our troops are low from the last attack. Apparently you're having low petrol. Why? Why is people not receiving their supplies? I suspect we have a logistical throughput issue. Yeah, at the fork we're getting a throughput issue. Okay, so the solution to that is expanding the truck station. Oh, how much does unification cost before I try to spin one up? 24. We don't have enough for unification this turn. Okay. Okay, for a turn where things did not go according to plan, or an attack motion where things did not go according to plan, that went decently well. So I suspected they were there, so we walked into them, but they weren't prepared to take our unit to the face, so everything in the end went fine for the unit. Presumably could have gone better, but fine is good enough.
Aye, aye, sir.
Found an uncommon one. Wasn't that ruin? Oh, where do we have a ruin that I haven't searched? With a zone. No, searching that one. That one. Oh, it's being the little white marker is being hidden by the name. So it is that one. Okay, so that'll be a good place to search because that's got a pretty high artifact to scavenge ratio, even though they're not super rare artifacts. How's the scavenging going in places we're scavenging over here? Going fine, going fine. About to run out. And then this one's going pretty fine as well. Oh, I said I was going to end the part and then started playing the turn. Whoops. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, you got an extra part, or extra turn on the part. So I'm still going to end this part and put it at the end of the part. So you remember not to play the part, or not to play the turn. So this will be the end of the part, assuming I don't, oops, a second time in a row. I hope you've been enjoying it. If you're watching on YouTube, there should be another part up tomorrow, because I'm going to keep recording. And if you're watching on Twitch, I'm, again, going to keep recording. I'm just going to put a short break in, and be right back. And hopefully my civilization feeling of just one more turn can be halted just long enough for me to take a short break before getting back to the next part. And then regimes doing their thing. Going to keep, you guys are a subject. And we're about to get our spicy report, if you're going to get our spicy report this turn. Oof, that was a spicy report. We lost 40 buggies in them attacking outwards. Okay, well this is where I am actually going to put the part, so catch you in the next part. Hope you have a good time until then.